Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to have you here with this new special series I'm doing. I'm calling it Spicy Time Stretches, but really it's just a way for you to start to connect to your body, connect to your brain, kind of bring yourself into this present moment so that hopefully when you go out and have some fun, some intimacy, some sexy time, whether that's with yourself or with a partner, that you're feeling more present, that you're feeling more connected, that you feel good in your body. Your body feels loose and warm and ready to enjoy whatever it is that you want to enjoy. These are going to be simple classes. They're going to be great for anybody who wants to just move their body a little bit. We're going to try and hit as many spots in the body as we can because, yes, we tend to focus like around our hips, the legs, the seat, all of that kind of stuff. But really, we want our full body to feel warm and ready and excited for some spicy time. So glad to have you joining me. We're going to hop onto the floor. So put on some comfortable clothes, make your mat nice and ready. And as we get comfortable and seated here, like I do with all my classes, we want to center ourselves in, right? We want to feel how our seat is connecting to the floor. Feel how our feet are maybe connecting. Maybe it's the legs. Maybe our back is up against the wall. Do we need to get some wiggles out? So the whole point of this is to start to get present. So this is the beginning of us starting our spicy time preparations. It's about, okay, feeling into my body, maybe a hand on my chest, a hand on my belly. Can I be present with my breath? And maybe that's focusing on taking some deep breaths in and out, really expanding the lungs, expanding that rib cage as you breathe in and out. Maybe it's just slowing it down. Maybe this is the first opportunity you've had today to just slow down, to check in, to really be present and focus on like, oh, yes, I can breathe in a mindful and intentional way. This is also a great opportunity to check in with your body. Hands can rest on the legs if that feels better. Are there any places in our body where we maybe want to bring an extra attention and focus because they're feeling a little bit tight or sore or stressed? Are there places where we want to try and challenge ourselves today, that we want to expand our practice? Again, there is no right or wrong. And if you're like, I don't know to any of those questions, that's fine. I promise we'll figure it out along the way. This is just a chance for you to center. It's a chance for us to kind of switch gears. Whatever we were doing before and whatever we're going to do after our little stretch sesh, it's going to be there. So we don't need to worry about it for these like 10-ish minutes that we're going to be together. We're just in this space, being present. Let yourself breathe, let yourself be. Can we release maybe the tension in our shoulders, relaxing the jaw, relax your forehead. What does it feel like to kind of be in your body? If you need to find a little movement, find a little movement. That's okay. This is all about what's going to work good for you. Good. One more nice deep breath. In and out. Make noise, make a little air, make that a little bit more audible is the word I was looking for. And we're going to extend those legs. Just take a moment, circle the ankles, a couple of circles in both directions. Let yourself feel it. Starting to kind of check into the body. We're going to start with a little bit of butterfly. So bottoms of the feet come towards each other and then start to draw your heels back. Or if it feels better to kind of scoot yourself forward, you can certainly do that. I'll leave it up to you where you want the feet. How does it feel good in that inner thigh? How does it feel in our hips? This is going to be a great option to grab a couple of blocks if you've got them. If you don't have yoga blocks, no problem. Grab a couple of pillows, a couple of folded up blankets if your legs need somewhere to relax. So if you feel like you're tight and everything is up here, give your legs somewhere to rest, somewhere to kind of hit when we're trying to be in this space. Let your hands come where it feels comfortable. Maybe that's around the toes. Maybe we're grabbing the pants. Again, no right or wrong. Do we feel like we need some movement? I kind of like adding circles every now and again. It feels like it kind of gets into my hips a little bit better, gets into that inner thigh. If you're going to circle, just make sure you take them in both directions. So again, this is all just kind of up to you. Coming into that butterfly, that's where we're going to hang out for a bit. Maybe you want the toes a little further forward. That feels better in the hips. Maybe you're working on bringing the heels closer. You can always drop that chest towards the legs. That's going to give you a different kind of stretch. So this is about finding out what feels good for you. All of these are just suggestions. All of these are just my tips and tricks. What feels good to you? Because this is customizable. This is supposed to be in my body, in this practice today, what is going to feel good. Because if we can get into that space of what feels good in my body now, then when it comes to that fun, spicy time, we can be more present in that space and really check in with ourselves, check in with our partner, check in and be present in the fun that we're about to have. One more nice breath in and out. We're sticking with the legs. We're going to bring those legs forward, bend the knees, kind of feet towards the front, and start with some windshield wipers. So you're just going to start by just kind of slowly bringing the legs side to side, just nice and easy. Now, maybe this is where it feels good. Maybe you want to take the legs a little bit wider, and that feels good. Maybe it feels good to bring them a little bit closer together. Now, if you want, this is where we're going to stick. If this is feeling a-okay, stay here. If you want to take it a little bit deeper, we're going to bring it into that kind of 90-90. So back leg is at a 90, front leg is at a 90. Here is where you get to play around a little bit. Do you want to find more of a flow? Kind of taking it back and forth. Maybe you want to come here and bring that chest forward, feel more of a stretch. Maybe you're working on sitting up a little bit taller, pressing that hip forward. Again, this is all about checking in. What feels good for you and in your body? It doesn't have to look like how I'm doing it. Does it feel safe? Does it not? It can be uncomfortable, but we don't want it to hurt. So if it's starting to hurt, take it back to those windshield wipers. Back it off. Find something that feels good, that kind of gets into this hip movement here. Because what creates confidence in the bedroom is being confident in our bodies and knowing what feels good to us and how our bodies move and how our bodies react. Good. Let's take those legs out to the front. We're just going to point and flex the toes here. So think about pressing through the feet, heels as you flex the feet, reaching through the toes as you point. And just a little bit of a stretch here. Always have some water handy. Stop and take a water break whenever you need it. And we're going to come back to a nice seated spot. So again, ground through our rear end here. Let the hands just rest on top of the legs. And I want you to start to move that upper body. So we're keeping our butt glued to the floor here. So from kind of like our hips all the way up through our head, get those shoulders involved. If you need to put on some nice music, it kind of feels like it gets you in this more sensual mood, add that in. It doesn't have to be a circle. It can be more a square. It can feel kind of jerky if we're just learning to kind of tap in to the way our body moves. Awesome. Now we're going to switch it up. Take that circle in the opposite direction. Just kind of let yourself feel into that space. Let your shoulders kind of move around. Maybe you let your head do a little wiggle here. Just kind of connect to this space here. Good. We're going to come back to seated for just a second. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see a little bit better. We're going to take it into some seated cat-cow here. So as we come into cat, we're going to let our shoulders come forward, let the spine start to round, maybe scoop our tailbone under. You can take those arms forward if that feels good. And then as you come through to cow, maybe take those arms back, bring that chest forward, feel that nice big stretch. Or hands can stay to the top of the legs. So it's that kind of, if you're familiar with an all fours cat-cow, same general thing, but we're just doing it from seated. And yes, it might feel slightly weird. It might feel a little bit different. And it's not going to look the same. That's okay, I promise. Good. Just let yourself kind of find that movement here. Love it. Awesome. All right. Still back to seated for just a moment. And kind of coming back into that more sensual side of ourselves. So I want you to, one shoulder at a time, roll it up and back. So take your time here. So just kind of feel into it. If you've got some of those like sensual, sexy songs that really get you into that space, I want you to play those. Let that kind of start to get into this. If you want to add a little bit more of a wiggle through the body, wiggle it out. I love it. Good. And then we're just going to reverse that shoulder roll. Going forward this time. It can be fun. It can be silly. It can feel playful to kind of move and get ourselves centered. It doesn't have to be so serious. Bring those shoulders back to the center, arms down to our side, breathing in. Feel that nice big stretch, big reach up, interlock those fingers. Send the palms up toward the ceiling. You want to start reaching it side to side. Start to open up that side body just a little bit. Maybe it feels good just to keep it to the center. Good, releasing those hands nice and slow. Elbows come wide. We're just going to slowly bring those arms all the way down. Good, keeping that right hand on the floor. Let's reach that left arm up and over. We're going to reach over towards that right side. So it'll be up to you how much you want to bend that right elbow. The more bend you have in it, obviously the deeper that stretch is going to be. But we want to keep that chest forward. So if we're really bending that elbow and we're coming towards that leg, straighten the arm just a bit, so that we can really focus that stretch all the way down the side. Loving this. Good. Let's go to that other side. So left arm comes down. Find that nice big stretch. And you can kind of play, find a little bit of movement if that feels good. But you want to feel that stretch track its way all the way down the side of ourselves here. Good. We're going to come back to the center. And let's just do a couple of shoulder rolls up and back. If you just can't use those shoulder rolls to let your shoulders, your neck, your arms just relax here. Wonderful. We're going to switch it up. Good. Love it. All right, we're coming down to the floor. We're going to lay on our right side here. So if you want to grab a block or a pillow and bring that underneath your head, if that feels good, you can bring that hand underneath. So we want the hips stacked, knees together, legs slightly forward. We're going to keep the heels together. Just going to lift that top leg up and back. Just take a moment. We're just working on, again, getting into that hip mobility, that hip range. If you know, you know. And yes, this is all like spicy focus, but this is all really good stuff for just your day to day. If you sit a lot, you have to drive quite a bit. These are also really great stretches for that. Good. We're going to bring the legs together, lift them slightly. You're going to tap your knees together and then tap your heels together. Knees and then heels. And again, just take your time here. Again, we're just kind of finding some movement in that hip, moving it in a couple of different directions to get, again, open it up, stretch it out, but also we're working on strengthening it a little bit too. Because all the stretching in the world is awesome, but we also need to work on strengthening sometimes these muscles. So this is going to be great for that too. Good. All right, we're going to extend that leg, bring it forward just a little bit, and then sweep it back just a little bit. So just kind of, again, it may feel like we're not doing anything, but I promise this is, again, kind of opening up that leg, stretching. Now we're getting into the front of that hip a little bit. We're getting into that hamstring a little bit. Love this for us. Awesome. Good. Bringing that leg back. All right. Now we're going to switch to the left side. So get yourself settled now on that left side, however it feels good. Are my hips stacked? Are my legs together? Knees slightly forward. Gluing the heels together. Now we're going to lift that top leg. So again, just nice and slow here. I like to bring that front hand just kind of in front. It feels like good support to me. Again, just let yourself feel into the space here. What feels good to you? How does it feel good to move your body? Maybe this side you can't open as big as you could on the other. That's okay. Pretty common. Each side, when we do single leg stuff, we kind of sometimes highlights how different each side can feel. So here we go. We're going to tap the knee and then tap the heel. Remember to breathe. If it feels tough, I know our instinct is to hold our breath, but I promise it makes it easier if we keep breathing. Take a break if you need to. Always take a break if you need to. We're keeping it fairly loose and free, but you might need a break today. That's okay. It's always okay. Good. We're going to extend that leg. Same thing. Bringing it forward a little bit. So we're kind of swinging the leg back and forth, but I want you to really control that. We're not just letting it flop here. This is a really controlled move. I want you to feel each move as you muscle as you bring it forward. How does that feel in the leg? How does it feel as you press that heel back? Good. Love this. Perfect. You're doing so amazing. Relax that leg. Here we go. All right. We are going to roll onto our back now. So let yourself roll all the way down. Let your head relax. We're going to bend the knees, walk your feet back towards you. We're going to start with a little bit of flowing bridge. So arms just relax down to your side. You're going to roll the hips up. So hips, low back come up and off the mat. And then nice and easy, you're just going to roll it back down. So your shoulders, kind of that upper back, your head are going to stay on the mat. We're just focused on this lower body here. So as you roll it up, you should feel the hips start to open. Feel those quads start to stretch. Getting into that low back, into the hamstrings. How is it feeling in your body? So we're going to bring the back all the way down. We're going to take it into a hold. So I want you to press through the feet, lift your hips up high as it feels good. Maybe that's a couple of inches. Maybe that's a little bit higher. Knees stay towards the center. Squeeze through your rear end, feeling the whole front side of our body open up here. And breathe nice and deep. Good. Loving this. We are getting so close here. So we're going to bring that right knee into our chest. I want you to extend and let that left leg relax. Now this is letting that hip flexor really start to relax here. When we sit so much, that muscle can get kind of tight. So just letting it kind of relax, let it be. And we're going to take this right knee into a twist. So we're drawing that right leg across the body here. Maybe send that right arm out. So same thing as in bridge. Our shoulders, our head are still laying on the mat as we draw that leg across. So it doesn't need to touch the floor. That's not what we're doing. We're stretching the outside of our leg. We're getting a nice twist in our spine. We're making everything feel nice and good here. Awesome. All right, bringing that right leg back to the center here. And then we're going to switch. So you'll bring that left leg in, let your right leg just relax. Take a couple of deep, relaxing breaths here. This is our last couple of stretches on this side, and then we're going to close with a chance to just kind of rest and recenter ourselves into our twist here. So left leg comes across the body. Again, if you want to extend that left arm, that always, for me, feels like a great counterbalance. We're going to feel that stretch from the outside of our hip into our low back. Good. You've done an amazing job. You can always go back and redo a stretch if that feels good. Pause the video. Give yourself a little bit longer if you need that. Coming back to the center. You're going to extend the legs, extend the arms. Let yourself take a nice full body stretch here. Oof. Reaching through everything. Good. We're going to close with a little bit of rest and relaxation. This is really important. And if you can, try not to skip this step. So if you want to stay laying on your back, you certainly can. If you feel more comfortable coming up to seated, do that. The purpose of this is to find a position, to find something that feels comfortable. Where you can, again, let your eyes close if that feels good. relax the breathing. Just let it be that normal inhale, exhale. Can you release any other lingering tension in the body? Can we relax the shoulders, unclench our jaw, soften the belly, relax the arms, relax the legs. And just let yourself be in this space here. Take a moment to feel really proud of yourself and your body for connecting today, for taking time to listen, to be in this space. So feel free to stay in this kind of rest and relaxation as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for joining me for our first installment of Spicy Stretches. I hope this helped. Drop a comment below if you've got any questions, if you've got any other stretches you want to see, any other series you want me to do, anything that you want more of, make sure to drop me a comment below and I'll be sure to check that out and try and create something that you want to see. Otherwise, we'll see you next time for our next class in Spicy Stretches. Have fun.